Oh yeah, I thought I'd talk a little bit, well probably not a little bit, probably a lot, about all the bikes that I've had, my sort of biking history kind of thing. So I don't know, might be mildly interesting, don't know. Let me know in the comments. Like, share and subscribe, as they say, if you do like this sort of content. So yeah, I'm pretty old, so I started quite a long time ago. The first actual experience of riding a motorbike was when I was about 11. My father was a member of the local motorcycle club, and he would often marshal at various events like trials events, motocross events, racing events down at Knockhill. So anyway, we were at a motocross event, and unknown to me, but some of my dad's pals taken a little Yamaha TY80 along, which they presented to me for the afternoon. Alas, I wasn't allowed to keep it, but I had full use of it for the afternoon. Needless to say, because all that was in my head at that time was motorbikes, I got on it and I was just able to ride it just immediately. Never forget that moment. It was just instant. I just knew what to do, and yeah. So that was fantastic. That was the very start of my biking career stroke life. So yeah, I got to fast forward a few years till I was 16, and I got my first bike that was on the road. Not actually a bike, more of a moped, but yeah, Suzuki AP50. I'm sure it was like a 1977 bike, maybe earlier, I can't remember. No idea what the registration number was, but it was red. And it was a Suzuki AP50, and of course, being my first ever bike on the road, I loved it. So yeah, I had that a good few months. Got to 17, and at the time they had just changed the law from you could ride up to 250 on L plates, and they changed it to down to 125 just at that time. So I couldn't get anything more than a 125. Dream 125 at the time was an RD 125 LC, but no, I could not stretch to one of them at the time. So I ended up with a Kawasaki KH125. It was a lovely Kawasaki green, and it was probably a bit of a terrible bike. It used to smoke like hell, and no matter what adjustments were made to the oil pump, put its visor down, no, she still smoked and smoked and smoked. So yeah, had that for I don't know, again, it's a long time ago, so the time scales are a bit foggy or stroke gone completely from my memory. But yeah, next bike after that was another Kawasaki. It was a KE125 trail bike, and yeah, that was a decent bike. It was black, I can't remember how old it was, what registration it was, but it was yeah, it was fine. It was reliable, apart from one episode that I'll probably go into in a different video, but yeah, it was fine. Used that bike for commuting back and forth to work. Used that bike to sit my test on. So yeah, passed my test on a Kawasaki KE125 back in, I don't know, 1984 maybe, something like that. Next bike after that was a Suzuki GS 550. Now this is when biking really, for me, really started, really kicked off. It was an old bike, it was an S registration, and it was black. I can't remember what exhaust it had on it when I got it, but I do remember that I put an Alpha 4-into-1 onto it. For those of you who remember Alphas, they were loud. So yeah, had that bike for, again, I don't know how long, but it was a good bike. It was reliable, as much as I can remember. Don't think it ever let me down. And yeah, I had a lot of fun on that bike. Put a lot of miles on it. And then the next bike after that was Kawasaki GPZ 1100 A1. So it was a Y registration bike. It was the swoopy bodywork model. Great bike, absolutely fantastic. It came with a laser 4-into-1 exhaust system on it. The end can was gold, if I remember correctly. I'm going to try and put up pictures of these bikes on the screen so that you can, well, so you can see what I'm talking about. If I can work out how to do that in the editing process, of course. But yeah, Kawasaki GPZ 1100. I had that bike for, I can't remember, but it feels like it was quite a long time. I know that I was never off it, I was always out on my bike. And it must have been a good bike because two of my pals ended up with Kawasaki GPZ 1100 A1s because they were, well, it was just a great bike. Love to get my hands on one now because they'd be worth a lot of money. They are worth a lot of money, but yeah. So that was the GPZ 1100. Like I say, I'm going over it twice, but I can't remember how long I had it. But it was a long time. Lots of miles, lots of adventures. Great bike. Next bike after that was, I believe, an RD250LC, which, and it's going to pain me to say this, was absolutely terrible. I think somebody had been at it and yeah, it wasn't standard, so it had some kind of stupid air filters on it. So when it rained or it was damp, damn thing wouldn't start, didn't run properly. It was an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that was that. didn't have it for long, I know that much. And I know that I traded it in for a Yamaha FZR 1000 Genesis. And this bike was just a revelation to me. It was just, I absolutely loved it. Such a moment for me to get that bike. I mean, it was, you know, it was second hand and it was quite old when I got it, but it was a big thing for me. Sign up for the finance, but yeah, that was the white, it's not red, white, blue and red model, UK bike of course. It had a Karker 4-into-1 system on it, so it was loud, it sounded awesome, and it had a Met Macheks braced swinging arm fitted to it, which was also polished, so it was shiny. So yeah, that was the FZR. Really liked that bike. It must have been 1991 I had that, must have been. But again, went everywhere on it, used it continuously. I think we went to, myself and a few of my pals, we went to the Monsters of Rock festival at Donington in that year, 1991, and yeah, drove down, or rode down on the Genesis and rode home, and I remember having a pretty sore neck by the time I got back to home, because it was probably a good, I can't remember now, but from Donington to Aberdeen, Scotland, is a good few miles in that bike, although great, not particularly the comfiest thing you've ever sat on. So there we are. We are up to approximately 1991 Yamaha FZR 1000 Genesis. So I think I'm going to cut it there, and I'll do a part 2 for the rest of the bikes up to present day. If anybody's interested or decides to want to hear any more of my crap, comment below. So I'm going to cut it there for now. So if you like this kind of thing, or it's remotely interesting to you, please like, share and subscribe, because I'm trying to build up some kind of channel. It's proven difficult with technology, but I'm persevering. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now, guys. Ride safe.